smokers smoke, and the drinkers drink. Let the poppers pop, and the breakers break. And the smokers smoke, and the drinkers drink. Let the poppers pop, and the breakers break.
What's happening? Lumps One, Ambitious Visions, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Right now I'm in Tucson, Arizona, doing some work, you know what I'm saying? Excuse my voice, I got a little bit of a cold, but we gotta do this interview thing. So, yeah, first question. The Insomniac Our was developed on accident. It was actually originally going to be a compilation album between myself and other artists throughout New Mexico and a couple from Texas. I never finished that project, and we changed the name from Insomniac Music Jam to the Insomniac Our, based off of a few songs that I had made a few years ago for the first volume. Then turned out to, I wanted to just kind of just make a bunch of music. I didn't really, I got sick of having albums. I mean, I started out with Blunt of Roaches, then Fungi Muzak, and We Take Drugs and Glorify Them, The Unexpected Something, then the album Different. All these albums came out. They all have their own concept. And the Insomniac Hours, well, the first two really didn't have a concept. The third one has a concept. But the first two didn't have a concept. The first two was basically, I had a lot of things that I wanted to say and get out of my chest, so I got it out of my chest and I just left it as was. My fucking computer. He's got to think. We got that old school shit. But anyway, so that's how it didn't come out. I ended up just kind of making songs. I didn't put it out. And then when I did volume 2, I released it and everything, but I didn't push it. In fact, a few months after I released it, I started writing volume 3, which originally is a whole other story, you know. Volume 3 I had trouble with because where I was living in Albuquerque, the apartment I was staying at was really old and the wiring was messed up, so I couldn't get my studio hooked up and shit, you know. It kind of sucked. But I felt like I needed to get shit out, so I started using the Phantom, and I made old school style, you know, like back in the day. That's how I made all my music, was just on the Phantom. Blunt of Roaches, basically every album up until The Unexpected Something, every song was made on the Phantom, so that's just how I kept it. But then I ended up changing it because I needed to expand my horizons with instruments like guitars and a live bass, bongos and such. So that's what made me get into that, was Insomniac Our really hit me there, volume 2. But that, I mean, in some ways I think it might have done good, in other ways I think it might have done bad, but I mean, it did do bad, but that was my fault. I didn't release it, I didn't push it, I was busy doing something. So I'm writing volume 3's first disc. I called it the Phantom Sessions because I couldn't record anyway. I couldn't make no beats with the guitars, and I couldn't hook up my bass. I couldn't record no live drums. I couldn't do nothing. There was this background noise, whatever, that's a different story. So I ended up just kind of putting it all together in a different way. I left it, I kind of just made the beats and wrote lyrics. And literally, like, about a week after I finished writing it, I get a call from my boss. So I still got a regular job, you know. But I got a regular job, so, you know, And anyway, they said, you gotta go. You gotta move to Tucson, we're gonna transfer you, we're gonna pay you more money, and you're gonna go do your thing there. Some friends of mine said, fuck it, do it. I'm already saying fuck it, do it. I ain't give a shit. So, boom, here I am, Tucson, in the loft and shit. Look, I hate my job. I really don't like it. So, I guess you could say the past couple years, I've really been on a hiatus from the game. I ain't been doing local shows. I ain't been doing what's supposed to be done. And now that we got things going, I think the Insomniac Hour is finally gonna be able to close. Well, the goals for my music is pretty simple, you know. All I want for my music, honestly, is to be heard. Yeah, I want to gain a living and I want to make money off it. I want to not have to report to this fucking place. I mean, it's a job in its own. You have to get up, you have to go somewhere, you have to go do what these people want. But that's fine with me. I mean, it's just different than what I'm doing now. You know, I figure that'd be better for me. I've done other things besides regular jobs, and that life's not for me, you know. All these other rappers talk about, oh, I shot this motherfucker and I'm selling this crack and this and that. And I'm like, shut the fuck up with that bullshit, you know? None of that's real. All of it's fake. And I don't want to hear none of it, you know? I mean, I want to hear something real. I want to hear somebody that cares about their life. I want to hear somebody that wants to improve everything in the world. Because, well, excuse me, I have a cold, like I said. But yeah, so the goal for my music is basically to get me out of my job. Yeah, I got it together, man. Shit, my first solo album. Look that shit up on iTunes, man. Blunt of Roaches. Cold-blooded. I mean, I'm gonna be 27 this month, and I was 18 or 19 when I wrote it, 19 when I recorded it. Accused. Love Q, man. I had a bunch of projects before that, though. I had about 4 albums before that. I recorded in a lot of places before I even recorded Blunt of Roaches, and Blunt of Roaches was definitely a turn of my page. So yeah, I do think I've changed because I don't sell drugs, I don't drink. I smoke a hell of a lot of weed. The weed I smoke is a hell of a lot better. I don't do hallucinogenics and pop pills or get in fights in the street or break fucking radios over people's heads all stupid and drunk. I mean, I was crazy. Not in the super thug gangster type of shit. I was just a hustler who had friends in gangs. But I definitely can say that I've changed for the better. Most people that don't achieve their goals and dreams, you know, people like me, generally go the wrong route. And I have somehow managed to change and go the right route through all of my struggles. So I guess you could say my face is much happier now. I'm able to smile, you know? I ain't saying that all of them are fake, but because I'm real. When I say I'm real, I don't mean, oh, I'm be in the streets, and then fuck that. I work hard, so I don't gotta be running the streets no more. I've ran the streets. I've done dumb shit. And fucking, we ain't even get to that. Listen to Blunt of Roaches and Fungi Music, and we take drugs and glorify them, and you'll see. Well, you can't find them, we take drugs and glorify them. But anyway, what makes me different though, first and foremost, my music sounds different. My music has more of a musical vibe to it. My music has more of a, I don't know. I mean, even back when it was more rugged and more raw sounding, it had a real musical vibe to it. And then of course I learned a lot from my Uncle Steve. Shouts out, homeboy. I learned a lot from him on the guitar and about rhythm and melody and the difference between the two, the importance of rhythm over lead. And a lot of my music kind of switched more into rhythms rather than a bunch of leads just mixed in. And I guess you could say it's theoretically correct now, in a sense. I mean, a very unorthodox artist as it is. Even in the sense that hip-hop became orthodox. Yeah, artists paying people so that they're safe everywhere, and you got people like us in the super underground. I'm talking artists in the super underground who've been rhyming for over 10 years, who've been grinding in the clubs. You know, I was doing shows at 15 and shit, waiting in line outside of the fucking club until they let me in. I remember I was 19 selling fucking little 20 bags and fucking 5 bags, just fucking waiting to go perform. Because I wasn't allowed in the club until my performance. I remember sitting with the fucking DJ behind a fucking velvet rope and shit that I couldn't leave, you know? I guess you could say what makes me different is I wanted more. There's artists that want it, but it's not the fame, it's not the money, it's the fact that all you have to do is your craft. All you have. I'm gonna have to say my first shit, my music, I'm gonna give it up to DMX. It's Dark and Hell is Hot. That's the album that made me want to start rhyming. You know, because I didn't make music first, I just freestyled. But when I heard that album, I started memorizing lyrics from different artists, and I would sing along to it, and I would practice their style and sing along to it. This is when I'm like 11 and 12, 13 and shit. By the time I was 14, but yeah, over the years, I've recorded in a few studios. I mean, some artists back in the day had to wait just to get in the studio, you know, and when I first started getting into this music shit, the home studio wasn't really as it is today. The technology wasn't as good as it is. You couldn't get all your shit in one room as cheap. There wasn't all these bullshit schools out there promising you the world, saying that, oh, if you go to school, you're gonna be an ill musician, you're gonna be the best at all that shit. And it's bullshit. Anyway, so I linked up and went to Eagle Rock Studios up in the Heights in Albuquerque, in the far northeast Heights, up by the Quaver and shit. And I'm coming from the west side, so I had to drive far out there. Anyway, if you're from out there, you know where it's at, you know how far it is. So like you pass through this little cemetery thing, and then there's this building, and you can't even tell there'd be a studio there, and you go in there, and God's studio. Lane Sloan, that's the owner. He definitely helped me learn a lot about the recording process. I didn't never record, you know. I probably had freestyled on a real microphone maybe twice at this time in my life, you know. I was 16 with a dream, baby, and I went and I recorded like, I think 40 something. I don't know what. Hold on, let me go get some. This in here. I used to work in Sprint back in 2003, but we ain't talking about that yet. So check it out. We got this bag of shit. Start out Eagle Rock Studios, right here. If you don't know about this shit, don't talk to me about making music, okay? So I got let's see if I can put this up. That's that old shit, motherfucker, crazy. And you got all this shit. You gotta see this shit. Right there, yeah. That's that old school shit. Fucking 2001 shit. 11 years old right there, yeah. I don't know where the fuck I put them, but I got some shit. Look at this. A la Maurice. There. Anyway, I load a bong rip. Why not? I was recording in Bernalillo after that. I went, well, yeah, Bernalillo. Yeah, this is all rights, by the way. This is all rights. sitting there chilling in Bernalillo, and I did my real, like, first good album. The shit was called Vocal Graffiti. It's actually the first CD that I really could move over 100 units. So I was pretty proud. 17 years old, had my shit up in LA Underground for the first time. LA Underground, this hip-hop shop over on Central and University, and my other things. Again, this is where it started, running around doing dumb shit. And I ended up going from there to probably my favorite studio I ever recorded in. I'm gonna have to say Q's at Q Productions. He's dead now. He was a good friend to a lot of us in the Albuquerque hip hop community, especially. I remember going there on Tuesday nights. We watched science fiction movies, smoke a blunt together, man. He would tell me about how music has definitely changed and whatnot. But me and Q made a lot of music together. I made my first 2 solo albums with him. I met him through Justice Catelli, who's also known as Dice Dastardly. He's like a brother to me too. I still talk to him every day. And Justice would go with me for a lot of the Fungi Muzak sessions and Blunt Roaches sessions. But before those sessions even took place, we did what was called Food for Thought by African Burritos. I wonder if I have that shit. It's still relevant. I mean, this is when I first went digital after the ADATs, but this is Q Sessions. African Burritos. Right there, archive. January 2004. African Burritos. This is my archive from Blunt Roaches. It's just tight. The image. Now this is old right here. I'll put that online so y'all can hear that shit. 2006, Fungi Muzak. Took me a long time to get that shit out. It's amazing when you look back in time at your old stuff though. I got stuff on here that ain't nobody even heard. Fill in the blanks. African Burritos. Subject. Fill in the blank. That shit's hard right there. Yeah. All kinds of stuff, man. Oh, this one here. Oh, you fucking rap now. This is when everybody started rapping. Boldly. Today's music. There's some good. There's a lot of bad. I mean, I think what it is a lot of these cats making this music, this trash music, didn't have the inspiration that I had from listening to this and that, and that my peers had listening to this and that. I don't believe they really care about the music so much. I don't think it's about the music. I mean, I talk to people in the streets a lot. I talk to people in my store, because I run a store, and I talk to people in these places, and they tell me, and they're like, well, they're making cash, they're making money. So I think what it is the masses pretty much like whatever's making money. They don't really care about what's making good music. I think that's been the thing on why music's changed today. I mean, they tell you right now, these other cats ain't in it for the dough, yet they driving in Benzes. I mean, I was watching a KRS-One interview, cats and that due to my music. Okay, well, then it's about the money. But it's a complicated issue, it's a complicated thing. I mean, money you need just to live, you need money to get by. You can either get by, you can live nice. Should I live nice? I have a 2-story loft, a studio in my own house, and self-production, everything, you know, money to promote, money to push it out, visit the doctor daily. So, you know, money is important, but not in the greed sense, just in the comfortability sense, you know. We don't live thousands of years ago where you have to live off the land and shit, so you might as well get the money, is my thing. So I think that's what ruined a lot of music, is these cats saw the money more than the art of it, you know? I hate this question. Let me hit the doctor real quick. I hate this question because you have it's been that long? Wow. Okay, well, for 7 years I've been trying to make it in the business of hip-hop. I can honestly say I've made it in the creative aspect. I consider myself to be at a level of mastery when it comes to making this music. I make good music, you know, but 7 years of music and really no success in the business of it, yeah, you know, I guess you could say it's kind of what stopped me the past couple years to really pursue doing local gigs and competitions and freestyle sessions and kind of get a regular job and make money, you know, be a man. I've really been dedicated to getting something out of me. Nowhere did I stop making music. In fact, I know a lot of people who, I mean, I got more albums and more songs recorded than some cats that have toured the world 7 times. You can look at it from different perspectives. You have the individual who's going to look at that as, well, he has mastered his art and he has learned how to make music this and that, da 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 da, okay. Then you have the other cats who say, well, he ain't making no money. Different ways to look at it, you know. So I can honestly say that if you consider making the money the success and not having to work a regular job to where music is your job and you're touring and you're consistently in the public eye making performances and selling albums and merchandise of other sorts, then no, I'm not successful. But if you look at the music part of successful as owning your own music, owning your own studio, owning your instruments, owning your lyrics, your voice, everything, as well as having a catalog that not many successful musicians have, well then you can consider that a success. It's up to you. My personal opinion is no, I'm not successful in a business sense or in a creative sense, because look at it in a martial arts aspect. If you're a martial arts expert, you're not a master until you've really been tested. And the true test in my eyes as a musician is you have to go out and tour and test your music with multiple people and see what they think about this fucking computer. But I believe I'm getting there. I believe it's coming soon, you know. I mean, shit, it's taken me years to be able to do this interview. And I hope that you will listen to my music afterwards. I hope you will buy the album or a song or two or something, you know, but that's for other reasons. Ultimately, I want you to listen. And I'm gonna make it easy to listen to but difficult to comprehend, because my music's not for My music's for the music listener, not the person who puts music on as background noise. It's for the person who loves music, who walks around with their headphones all day, every day. Insomniac Our, Volume 3. It's coming out. We got the first music video coming in about a month or two. It's called Burn It Down. Song coming soon, you know? But all the music in the background, by the way, of this interview. But anyway, all the music in the background, though, is Insomniac Our Volume 3, the final hour. It's a double disc. And basically, it's disc 1 is called the Phantom Sessions. Disc 2 is the Funky Roach Finger Band Sessions. And disc 2 is more musical. It's more live guitars, singing, poetry, different thinking than disc 1. Disc 1 is that raw essence of where I started with back in the day, and disc 2 is kind of like the mirror image, kind of showing you that I'm who I am, and I'm not like everyone else. But anyways, check out the website, ambitiousvisions.com. Go to the Reverb Nation page and the Facebook page. Facebook page is probably want to update the most. So, you know, facebook.com/lumps or something like that. It'll be listed on the thing thing right there. Peep the album when it comes out. It's 24 songs, so just buy the single.
Question, is it all worth it once you get there? Cause most fools sold out just to be on guest list. Me, I'm addicted to the music like a crackhead, except that on another stop, mislead or distract me. I keep it speeded up, going in circles like a track meet, just to get a fix of the music satisfaction.